Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Ready? 21, Mike 21, check Mike 61, matchbox, lights. Let's keep moving. 2.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. He finds Corey Davis. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert. Yeah, he'll find Hall. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 27 yards there, a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play. Jackson on first down. Dancing to his left. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We got four. We got four at the 17-yard line.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Let's go.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Hill to try again. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
We won. 5.
Switch. Here we go. 50. Hit it.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert, and he fires one incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Herbert uncorks one for Davis. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Intercepted. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
that's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. Mike, 45. Check the run. Match box. Check.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a 1st half to forget. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Let's go. At their own 20-yard line.
Got it.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36. A gain of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing. And
it got his man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 88 yards as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Hey, box truck. Get it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert going for the deep ball. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's more on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Jackson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. And an alley to run. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Results in a 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Play action. It's Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check the backer, check the backer. 6 guard, check 6 guard. Shift. Watch the shift, squeeze. Watch the shift, watch the shift. No.
Now Jackson. Steps away to his left. He's going to look deep for more. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jair Alexander. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Jackson now. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0.
Ravens 28, Bengals nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, You need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Well, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Check, go. Hey, watch the slant. Hey, check Mike 45. Watch the slant. Go. Watch the slant.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
To try again after the sack. Jackson, he's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That one complete to Hill. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, it took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be from 56 yards out. And that one one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
General West. Check 24. Check 24.
Back to throw. Herbert eluding the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where I came from.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go now. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie.
We ain't giving up nothing.
Greystone, travel.
Check. Hey, check 24.
Hey, Charlie.
To throw on second down. Herbert, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schleprock, got that black cloud over their heads.
And some room to work. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Rock it. Check 25. Check 20. Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. Throw left side complete. It's Hall. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are in for 6. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7.
Makes the score, Ravens 35, Bengals 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
I'm coming. Watch twist. Watch twist. Showing it.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Jackson now. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs.
Ready.
Knocked it free, made a big play.
Army. Army.
Topper.
Following the fumble recovery, Herbert, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Carlton Davis picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Bunch set, eyes up, bunch set. Check,
To throw is Jackson. To throw again. He's going deep for Brown. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. Herbert. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to throw. Herbert. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they move this all the way down to the 9. The end result, 21 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
Safety's creeping.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll run with McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Go.
Recon, 132, front 5.
From the gun on third down. Herbert to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. 15 on it. 15 on it. Going nowhere. My game. Let's get the ball. Let it go.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Intended for Marquise Brown. Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 1.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Fighting to stay upright. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Ravens, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. I'm Brandon Go.